I'm really excited for today's episode because we're doing something we've never done before, which is walking through a client engagement that we did, in particular an assessment, which is one of the things that we do with all of our clients when we first start working with them. Of course, anonymizing this client, because the blessing and the curse of what we do is clients are trusting us with a lot of very sensitive information about their business. So you're not going to know who the client is, but we will walk through just what problems they had when they came in, what we did to figure out what was going on, the outcomes that we got to.
This particular situation is unique. They're always unique. On our last podcast, we were talking about some example, and I met with a client afterwards and like, were you talking about us? And I was like, no, it wasn't you, but every problem is unique, but there's so many similarities between what goes on. So hopefully people can take away something from this where they're like, yep, I see myself in this as well.
Every agency basically has one of like 4 problems, but there's always a little bit of nuance, a little bit of, specificity to how that manifests in their particular business based on their team, the services they sell, the market they're in, what their culture is, and so on. And so hopefully we can sort of shed some light on both of those things, both the simple underlying truth, but also how we think about, making that assessment and charting a path forward for that unique firm.
And even in situations where the problem is the same, the solution might be different depending on the desires of the agency. I mean, if you have someone who's winding down and wants to sell, that's going to be a different look